Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. Now, a few interesting and weird things about this is, number one, and most importantly, and very interestingly actually, well, this is a video that I didn't actually want to make, because reasons, but if you hadn't noticed, I actually got the community tab thing unlocked. Don't know how, don't really care at this point. Just a nice thing to have so I can keep y'all updated on videos and things. If you didn't realize that my post yesterday was on this video, yeah, I'm probably going to do a double upload this week because, well, I'm probably going to upload this Saturday and then upload the other video on the other, the other video later down the line. But today we're going to be looking at QuantumTV and the YouTube shenanigans that he is currently up to. Now, in my other video, I covered 3 of his videos. Now, I didn't make like a super hour-long thing. I just basically covered the main points and just ranted into a microphone. And that video for Harmon Smith is still coming out eventually. But as of right now, that video has taken a back seat. The audio is already recorded. I just need to edit the video together. But this one, I'm probably going to just fast track it past it because this is more important and, quite honestly, is quite stupid. So yeah, today we're going to be actually looking at 2 videos today since everyone else seems to be covering these 2 videos. And yeah, I want some views because reasons. I make that no qualms here. But let's actually get started with the first of these 2 videos where Quantum talks about a dislike bot problem and then completely dismantle any and other all points that he makes. Also, we're also going to be then looking at the Steam Deck trolls and other stuff like that. Considering that I do have a Steam Deck and can speak on a lot of the things that is wrong here, and I don't just have the 64 gig version, I have a much higher version. I'm not going to say which one I have, but I do have one of the higher end versions. But we'll get into the whole reason as to why this thing is a bullshit and stupid statement in the first place. With all that being said, let's get started.
Today I'll be showing you why YouTube removed the dislike button. So if you've ever watched YouTube and you've seen this grayed out dislike button, I'm going to explain it. So smack like on this video because I'm getting to the point right now. Simply put, people get in their feelings on social media and they resort to something called dislike botting. Now, dislike botting is essentially when you basically plug a content creator's channel into a program or a website and link all of their videos that they can possibly upload to a program or bot that will essentially, in a nutshell, dislike everything.
Okay, so in short, he is not wrong that these sorts of bots may exist, but this is a clear logical fallacy. This logical fallacy includes something called a little thing, not an appeal to false authority. It's a false cause, I think. But yeah, it's a logical fallacy that makes up this whole boogeyman type thing. It's a lot of things that a lot of people tend to do where they'll make up this whole big story and make it seem like it's actually accurate, but the 1% of the thing that's supposed to be the information that they're giving isn't true because it only happens in a maybe situation, and you can do whataboutisms all the fucking day, but that doesn't mean that this shit is happening. So, but yeah, he's not entirely wrong. There are Discord bots out there that could maybe do that. I'm unaware of this sort of thing. But he's going to say Discord bots and not say YouTube bots or say other things. And he's going to give very, very baseline and maybe even just scratching the surface level examples that don't actually go into the deeper issue as to what that might entail. But in short, that shit doesn't happen. Also, another thing that he's going to bring up later is that this thing is a grayed out dislike button. They're only there for like the public dislike button. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't see all the dislikes, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the dislikes don't affect how they work in the algorithm. It does. Every bit of the actual thing fucking does, because that's how the shit works.
For the rest of their channel's life. Now, this doesn't really do anything now that YouTube has removed the dislike button, but if you've watched their interview, YouTube basically said this is basically done because it's a digital scoreboard and it's attacking creators, who they are and that kind of thing that people don't like. They don't like what creators stand for, all that kind of stuff. Some people thought that this was just a lie and there were some other reasons. And while I don't doubt that there were more than one reason as to why the dislike button was removed, That the part where people are creating a digital scoreboard and attacking creators because they don't like what they stand for is 100% true.
Okay. So, in theory, again, he is not entirely wrong, but in this context, in this case, he's just flat out stupid and speaking out of his ass. It's very clear that he is just upset about the fact that that the whole thing with the whole dislike stuff doesn't actually put his thing through the ringer in some cases. And yeah, while that might not be the case, maybe the only real thing that they did was just take away the dislike button number. They didn't actually take away the dislike button. They don't see the number publicly anymore, at least not without extensions, which he will bring up later in the video. Now, yeah, you could say that, oh, well, this thing is there for the entirety of the rest of time for all of the videos that they upload. That's not, I don't even know of any bot that can necessarily do that you're going to bring up in as an example in this video. Not only that, one of the things that I fucking hate about reacting to your videos, Mr. QuantumTV, is that your shit is recorded on a phone. And this was the one thing that I didn't bring up in the other video, but I only brought it up briefly. But I'm going to explain this here now, and probably now you can understand why I ranted about this for at least some time. He has 2 fully functional gaming PCs, apparently. 2 fully functional gaming PCs, fully constructed by himself, complete with RGB and all that other nonsense and fluff and bullshit, yet he cannot record on anything more than his fucking phone. Now, I get that in some cases they don't have the means to do that, and there are some people out there that have made stuff through their phone and stuff, but here's the thing, QuantumTV, he apparently does everything through his fucking phone. He records his phone screen, he records the aspects and takes screenshots all on his phone, and yet he does not, I repeat, he does not, say, record anything on his fucking computer. Or even do editing on his computer, from what I can tell. I don't even know if he edits on his computer. He might, but I'm not sure. Considering the aspect ratio that he edits his videos in and posts them to YouTube, I don't fucking think so. I think that he just records everything on his phone and then throws it all into, like, Audacity, or, well, not Audacity, that's what I'm using, but throws it into, say, fucking Studio Clip Paint or something like that. Some editing software maybe on his computer that he pulls his stuff off of his phone. How the fuck do you edit your videos, dude? Like, every single aspect of this screams that you're just doing it on your phone. You can't call yourself a PC guy by saying that you game on PC, yet showing very little in terms of gameplay from what I've seen, and just recording on your phone. Can you not record on your computer? Those amazingly big, awesome, high-end computers? How do you not record on those things? Oh, they're just gaming machines. They're not meant for recording. Fuck you.
I am one of those creators, and I want to kind of voice what this habit or behavior is like. So, as you see, the dislike is removed, but we can return that with extensions. So, if you use an extension, you can see the dislikes on my video here, called Samsung S95B PC Gaming with Epic Jump Force mods. I'm in this video just kind of hanging out and showcasing some Jump Force mods and showcasing what the Samsung S95B Quantum.OLED is capable of doing. Now, one might ask, well, what's wrong with that video? Thus, enter the problem. A lot of people that like to troll other people, getting in their feelings about prior projects or whatever, prior reviews, prior opinions, they don't care. They want to attack you because of what you stand for, what you believe, what you like, what you play. Like, for example, I don't like Steam Deck, so people like to attack over that. You can see I have 254 dislikes. Now, initially, you're going to think, holy cow, wow, people really didn't like this video if you use one of these return extensions and you're creating
Okay. So, while I don't want to say that he's wrong, I will say that there is a lot to that is true, actually, enough in an interesting way. In the fact that all that I'm saying that I am saying that he's correct on is the fact that people will dislike and, not watch a video and not, look at a video for the fact that they don't like the creator, or they're doing something called hate viewing, or they're doing a whole bunch of other crap. And just to troll the person, just to get this kind of reaction. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying that those people are something weird. But let's just continue, because this math is going to get really interesting really quickly.
Like myself running into this crap. Now, this is all fraudulent. These are people manufacturing dislikes because truthfully, I'm a pretty well-liked creator.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this. So before we get into the actual fucking math that he's bringing up here, I actually did some digging on the video and specifically what he has here in this screenshot. If we bring up that screenshot really, really fucking quickly, you can see that he's in the engagement tab in the mobile studio version of his actual thing. Now, what the fuck does this mean? And what the fuck does everything on this screen mean? Well, it means three different things. One, if you look very closely at the top, well, we'll start from the bottom and we'll start from the top and we'll move down. Firstly, you can see the title at the video. Secondly, you can actually see the engagement and the amount of views that it's gotten over the time that it's been made. If you look at the very bottom corner, I know it might be a little bit hard to see, but if you look at the very bottom corner, it says 17 hours. What the fuck does that mean, What the fuck does that mean, Penguin? Well, in short, it means that that's the lifetime that the video has been up for. 17 hours. Now, why is this important? Well, I did some, again, small digging and decided to try to look up the actual video. You'd think, oh, well, you don't have the full title. How do you exactly supposed to know? Well, just plugging in the first two things of the actual title and putting in QuantumTV, I was able to get his screenshot and the screenshot that I posted yesterday on my community tab. That screenshot, if you look at it, shows unbelievably definitive proof or something like that and comparing two TVs. That video, at the time that I took the screenshot, was taken 22 hours after the posting, 22 hours ago from when it was posted on the actual, from this video. Now, again, doing some really weird math, I'm not sure how exactly, like, the difference in time frame is going to be, but given that this was made probably in, like, an hour or two and then posted, goes to kind of show that, yeah, this video itself was probably made very quickly after any of the other videos that he made. And considering that he also then made another video, which was posted before this, on this same topic, on a different topic kind of, but still talking about the Steam Deck, goes to show you just that he made that many videos. And again, not all of those views are all of those videos. Let's then look at the audience retention. How do I fucking know that this is, again, crunching in numbers in a weird way? Well, it's because of the audience retention. Audience retention over the duration of the lifetime, it says that no audience retention data is available for this video because the processing can take up to 2 days. That means that he doesn't have sufficient audience retention data in order to actually say that he's being a good unliked creator. I, on the other hand, can say that certain videos of mine, most people tend to watch like the first minute or so for some reason and then drops off significantly as the video goes on. But again, the audience retention thing is probably the more important of anything else rather than the likes versus dislikes, because that shows to show you how many people are clicking on the video, watching it, and then, not actually watching the whole thing, just clicking it to watch it to give you views or something like that. Those people may or may not be bots, but that's a different thing entirely. But then we come down to the likes versus dislikes. Now, we can't say the actual full amount of likes versus dislikes, and we can assume that most people that watch this video don't actually like and dislike this video all that too often. We'll go with the standard metric of whatever the fuck you think that it is. But even with that in context, if you look very carefully, the unbelievably dislikes, since published, is 85. Again, that says unbelievably D. I don't think that this is dislikes. I don't know what that fucking says, because I don't have the app itself specifically. But even still, 85% of that amount was something. It might be likes, it might be dislikes. I'm uncertain. But now looking at it again, it says that it's 85%. Now, whether that's 85% likes or 85% dislikes, that goes to show you that most people, to at least some significant extent, itself was, don't like the video. That's either 25% that don't like the video or 25% that do like the video. Again, just going off of this metric alone. And this video was only posted 17 hours ago. And more often than not, and more interestingly, he's only using his most recent video because he considers that to be the most purest form of his art, or purest form of his audience that's actually watching this video. But if it's a bot, don't you think that it would automatically sense the upload and then immediately work to it? How would this be any sorts of cases like this? Again, you show us nothing significant in this screenshot, and breaking down literally everything shows us fucking nothing. It would be more advocate and more better if you were to show us, say, a lifetime overall of all of your likes versus dislikes over across all of your videos, or the amount of views that you get per video dependent on where it is. Those metrics over a longer term actually show a longer, better form of the point that you're trying to make. That's not the case here. Anyway, let's continue on. This video is going to be long.
And there's nothing wrong with my videos. But I'm not just going to tell you that. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to prove it. So here we have the tool that YouTube officially gives us to track where our audience is coming from. External sites or apps is where you'll find if you've been basically dislike botted. As you see here, Discord, 12.5%. Now, I'm a content creator that knows that I don't post my videos to Discord. So whose Discord could it possibly be? And this is one of the things that you're going to have to do as a regular content creator to try to find out what's happened and reverse engineer it. So we have 12.5% basically coming from Discord, and that's a gaming platform for those who don't know. Now, this, again, botting behavior is almost exclusive to gamers. A lot of them are losers. A lot of them resort to that kind of behavior. I'm going to prove it.
One of the things that I want to bring up really quickly, I know this video is going to be pretty fucking long, but one of the things I want to bring up really, really quickly about this is the fact that he says that Discord's a gaming platform. What the fuck? Are you high, sir? Do you want, like, some shrooms? Or do you have some shrooms, bro? I wonder what you're taking to think that Discord's a gaming platform. I mean, you're not wrong in saying that Discord's a gaming platform, but that's like saying that Steam is a social media website. I mean, it can be. There is the ability to do that sort of thing, to be like a gaming forum website. Sure, definitely. But that's not what it's there for. Just like Discord isn't necessarily there for gaming. I've never heard of someone saying, hey, you want to hop on Discord and play some fucking video games through Discord? No, I've never fucking heard that. I've heard of people saying, oh, hey, let's hop into a Discord call and play some Call of Duty. And yeah, you can play games through Discord, more or less. Gaming is a thing through Discord. And they're probably trying to implement and create more things through Discord and whatnot. But that's not saying that Discord itself is a gaming platform. It's really fucking not. It's a game chatting platform. Like there's like you can be gaming and chatting and stuff, and that's how I keep in touch with some people. But it's not necessarily used for anything that has to do with fucking games, other than the fact that you can buy games through Discord, more or less. It has things to do through games, and okay. This is a stupid point, but yes. Discord is a gaming platform like Steam is a community platform for, like, a gaming forum. It's a thing that exists on the platform, but that's not necessarily what you're there for.
By showing you the math. The video got 2,000 views. If we subtract the 12.5%, we're left with 1,750. If we subtract 1,750 from that 2,000, we get that 250. Plus, of course, for pizza face, greasy trolls living in their mother's basement that decided to get in their feelings.
I find it really funny that even the math that he's using, despite the fact that he is p-hacking, essentially, this is fucking stupid. Because even the math that he has here, all of the math, doesn't add up to the 254 number that he says. This is basically like saying that, oh, well, I did all this math and I got this answer, but this answer is actually very close to here. So I'm just going to pick C because that's the closest to my answer. When you could have misinterpreted the entirety of the question and it would have actually been A, and it would have just been the easier question and you just didn't do the fucking math. Also, KlutzyKing has done this, and I'll just play the clip right here.
But for the most part, people liked that video. Now, people like this creator here do this for content. They do it for money. They know good and damn well that I don't actually have a massive amount of dislikes. They're botting them. And they do it so that they can create the narrative, look at this popular YouTuber. They're disliked. There's this controversy around them. They're horrible. They're this awful person, and people agree with me. That's really the sole purpose that some of these people do this for. And again,
I think, to quote Griffin, one of the interesting things about this is that people send the videos to Klutzy, or people send the videos to commentators a lot to respond to them. Why? Well, because those viewers themselves see the video as trash and want the person who they agree with, or the person who they see as someone who trashes bad opinions and, dismantles them completely, to commentate and give their own opinion on it. And the majority of the time, those creators get sent those videos before they have to cover it, and before they actually have to make videos on it, they have to take those types of screenshots. In saying that, oh, well, they just bought these things in order to do that, that's not... You think that they're just sitting on Discord, waiting for you to upload, waiting for that shit to happen? That we cover an entire boatload of other people. We cover Sony fanboys. We cover PlayStation. That's the same thing. We cover PlayStation fanboys. We cover Xbox fanboys. We cover people who have shit opinions. We cover Nintendo fanboys. You're not the only one on here who, in turn, has done this sort of stuff. And I love the fact that he and Harmon Smith sort of become like kind of the same person, just on two different levels of the spectrum, because a lot of the conspiracy theories that Harmon Smith tends to have, I kind of see now in Quantum after watching this video and stuff like that. It's fucking stupid. But all in all, like, no. He's not botting. You dumbass.
As you see here, it's about Steam Deck in this instance. I don't like Steam Deck, and as, again, somebody who paid more than the average person going into that transaction, my expectations and standards are higher. But of course, you're not allowed to have your own opinions, your own thoughts, and review things your own way. You need to fall in line with what these other gamers want you to do, or they're going to resort to this. They're going to dislike bot you on Discord, plug your shit in, and just let the program run. And don't believe me.
No. You can have your own opinion. 100%. You can. The problem is when your opinion is garbage and people call you out on it. This is the one thing that a lot of people like myself, again, have made a living off of. Again, I don't get paid to do this. I get paid in the exposure of my YouTube channel to get out to more people. But QuantumTV is basically a stupid motherfucker, for the sense that he is saying that because I have an opinion, it's so dumb that he can give out all of this criticism, yet can't take a criticism worth a damn. And again, we're not saying that you can't have your opinion. You can have an opinion. You could be wrong, but you could still have an opinion. It's fucking stupid that you are, like, saying, oh, well, all these people, you can't have these opinions, you can't do this, and you have to fall in line with those people. It's like, no, we're not. Most of the people who give you at least constructive criticism, like myself, despite how much insults I'm throwing at you, when I'm giving you constructive criticism, obviously there is something wrong here. And if everyone else is also giving you this criticism, the entirety of this tends to fall on you, that the denouncing factor has to be you. This is like the Skinner logic of, oh, well, why are all these people giving me these bad opinions and stuff? Maybe I'm the one with the bad opinion. No, I'm not. And that's the Skinner logic that you're fucking using. You dingus.
There's a video literally talking about it, okay? So again, you guys see I have 12.5%, okay? Just so you can see the math is correct on that. You can use the same calculator on Google to mathematically see that I'm being dislike botted. And that proves again that it's a program. And again, don't believe me, because here's a video 2 years ago, some guy with like 1,000 subscribers talking about how he made a bot to dislike all of PewDiePie's videos or like all of PewDiePie's videos and dislike another creator. And he's showing it off in real time, how it works, what it's doing, and how it's actually doing.
No. If you actually watched the video or bothered to look this video up, this was made for 3 reasons. 1, it's a meme. As it was made, if you don't understand what this was made for and why it was made, it's fucking stupid that you're thinking about this. And obviously you're like, it dislikes another creator. If you don't know who CoComelon is, that just goes to show you how little research you do on some of the stuff that you do. I mean, again, I know of CoComelon. because it sickens me to my very core. This sorts of stuff is like available for kids on YouTube. But he made it to, do this whole thing. Number 2, he doesn't actually explain how the bot works, at least not to the extent that, he shows how you actually code the thing and gives you an entire how-to and in-depth tutorial on how to do this. He just explains how the bot works, and again, he uploaded this as a meme. It's a meme, my guy. And again, someone else also in the comment section, if you actually bothered to read it, fell for the same thing, saying that this is the reason why YouTube is getting rid of the dislike button, which, if you know what he actually states, it only works for the 2 channels, PewDiePie and CoComelon. Those are the only 2 channels that this works for. Unless you wanted to say, like, oh, you put all of your things into, like, this and that and the other thing. But if you actually read the description, and this is point number 3, the video doesn't create any new accounts or botting in that sorts of sense that you're talking about. All that this video does is explain, and in the description that you say, in the description that you didn't bother to fucking read, it uses your own account, which means the 250 people that you just said, if they're doing this method of botting, quote unquote, that means that that's 250 people who decided to download this and implement it to dislike your videos specifically. 250 individual people who didn't like you. It doesn't create any new accounts. All that this does is take the URL, run it through a program, and then decides whether to like or dislike it. That is it, based on parameters that a person sets. It doesn't create new accounts. It doesn't utilize any sorts of other accounts or things like that. It uses your own fucking account. This proves nothing.
To that creator. Now, this is a massive problem because, number 1, the video is still up even though it violates YouTube's community guideline standards. That's the first thing. The second thing is it proves a pattern of behavior with these kinds of individuals where they get in their feelings about something, a review, a product, something somebody says, and again, they're going to target creators with fraudulent analytics and metrics. Now, fortunately, this doesn't really do anything anymore, but it used to hurt a lot of creators. Now, I would like to see the dislikes completely be removed off of YouTube so that they don't even have so much as a digital scoreboard to actually feel like they're winning. I think at that point, that's the only annoying thing here, is that they genuinely think that they're hurting you when really it doesn't do anything, and they gloat about it, with their little thumbnails, and they try to make you seem like you're a bad creator, like, aha, look at this guy, he's terrible, when in reality, it's just a fraudulent percentile that they manufactured to try to create content using bots. So, again, look at the tools, you can see it, you can track it back to Discord, 12.5%, all that good stuff. But again, this basically exposes that even in 2022, dislike botting is still a major problem even after they removed the dislike button. But if you've ever wondered why the dislike button was truly removed, now you know.
Oh, boy. All right. So, look, Quantum, that last bit, interesting monologue. Good idea. But let's take off the tinfoil hat for a second and get some real talk in here. What if you're just a bad creator? What if you just make shit content and you are not growing because you make content like this because people look at you and they see you as a fool and as a clown? What if you just decide to have these opinions, and whenever you find a topic that people latch on to because they're hate watching you, that you feed into them and try to get more views out of them for one reason or another? Don't you think that at this point, there is a pattern of behavior with you because you're using the same sorts of logic and things? And just because one schmuck makes a video on one botting program that he created for a meme that he wasn't even distributing in the description of the video, nor did he even explain how the actual video or code of it actually worked, just showed shit. And showed it functioning and operating, and that's really it. Don't you think that, you have a little bit of a flimsy and stupid case in saying that you're a good creator? I mean, think about it, bro. Why use that sort of video instead of using your overall metrics? Why? Because you think your metrics are stupid and wrong? And why complain about it if it doesn't affect you? If it doesn't affect you, why talk about it and say oh, well, it doesn't affect me and it doesn't do this stuff? Yet every aspect of this shows that it's affecting you, in the sense that you don't get as many views as you might want, or that the sense that you are getting angry over it because people are just making you angry and this type of video that you're making is feeding into them. Don't you think that you're the problem in that context, that you're constantly stirring and stirring the fucking pot in order to make this shit happen? I don't know. Anyway, we'll look at the last video over here, which is a short and sweet video, and then we'll wrap things up. This video is already getting pretty long.
So all the Steam Deck players that only put in $399 want to show up to the party and try to tell me, the guy that paid $650 plus tax, how I should feel about my experience on a product they couldn't even afford. Now, that might sound classist or elitist, but that's like going to the guy that bought a BMW as you sit in your Toyota Camry and you're talking shit about how he should feel about the problems he's...
I love this argument. This argument's stupid. This argument's absolutely garbage. This argument sucks so much. Why? Well, because, let me explain this to you. While you're not incorrect in saying that a person can't do that, you do realize two things, right? One, no one's above fucking criticism. At least in America, you can criticize anyone from the homeless person that's sitting on the corner to the fucking president of the United States, the highest power that exists. Especially since you live in Florida, I'm surprised that this is like super fucking stupid, because you're living up to that whole Florida man mentality. You gotta love it, bro. You gotta love it. But it's also stupid because the only thing that's different is the storage and the anti-glare screen. And that's really it. That's really the only thing that's different about all three of the Steam Decks across the board. The reason why the one that's $300 is half as much is because you get a fraction of the storage. You don't get as fast as the storage, but everything else is fucking the same. You still get the same cords. You still get the same you still get a carrying case. You still get the same performance and everything. It is the same spec machine, just the only thing that's different is that storage. That's it. That's literally it. It's the iPhone thing. It's like if you're going to go and buying like an iPhone 5, and that's shaming someone for paying a little less to get a little less storage. It's an option for someone. So wait, does that mean that if I purchased like the middle version, which I did, that I don't have to complain to you about it, even though there's only like about $100 difference between the two of us, if we're on like the same level of that sort of shit? We'll get into this in a little bit more after this, kind of. But at the same time, this argument is dumb because, again, this is technology. If you don't do your research, if you don't do like the fixes and things that people are trying to do constructively give you, maybe don't buy that fucking product, or maybe just don't like be this stupid about not taking a person's advice.
Basing on that product. When you approach things at a certain level and you buy the best of something and there are problems and you mention those problems, if you haven't arrived at an equivalent level, you have no seat at the table to start talking, running your mouth, or thinking you have any opinion about how that person...
By the way, he totally tries to sound like this is not like classist or anything like that, and he just does fucking poor shaming people. Dude, if you want to say, you know, do the thing, maybe, don't buy a product that everyone else can do that is also very similarly spec'd. This is, again, like the iPhone. It's not exactly, but it's a similarly spec'd product for different amounts of money, where the only thing that's different is the storage and the anti-glare screen and a couple other bits and bobs that don't even break the bank for some people, that people don't even care about. Why did I get the 256 gig? Well, because I felt like I didn't need the highest end gigabyte model, and the other stuff was just icing on top that I didn't feel was necessary in that context. Plus, my reserve was for the $500 version, because that's the version that I wanted. Because it was comparative shopping. That's what we do. That's what people do when they're trying to purchase something that's this huge. They don't just do random shit. It's stupid, man.
Person should feel at that price range. I think it's a very important distinction that we make about the Steam Deck, that I was at the highest price point, and most of the people buying the Steam Deck are at the entry-level lowest point with the 64 gigabyte version, okay? So before people want to try to talk shit or come at me or feel like my take was bad, two things you've got to remember. One, I likely paid more than you did, so I have a reason to be more upset. And two, it's my opinion. If I don't like the fucking product, I don't have to, right? And if you want to sit here and trash somebody's opinion, keep that same fucking energy when it happens to you.
How about you take your own fucking advice, dude? Literally, I didn't want to get this angry, but in all honesty, take your own goddamn advice, motherfucker. If you're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't, it's just my opinion, and therefore, my opinion shouldn't be questioned. Or, if you're saying, oh, well, you should be able to take that same energy when someone criticizes and gives you an opinion. It's a debate, bitch. If you want to say, sit here on a public forum and debate and fucking go off, queen, on how, like, you don't like a product, don't be surprised when people come around your place with pitchforks and shit to you know, riot in the streets of your neighborhood or something like that. And I mean that in a metaphorical sense. But here's the big issue here. You don't take the same amount of energy for your bullshit. You don't. You really fucking don't. All that you're doing is you're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have an opinion about my opinion because I paid more than you. That doesn't mean jack diddly squat to people. All that it means is that you had a bad opinion, you had a bad take on a product, and you're not willing to take the fucking criticism in order to, you know, maybe change your mind on something. And I know that this video probably won't reach you or something like that. Good. I don't care. But here's the thing. If you go into a debate, and this is something that Charisma on Command kind of does a lot, if you go into a debate stating and spouting bullshit and nonsense in the sense that you don't want your opinion to be changed or challenged in any sorts of way, there's a ways to, you know, have someone change an opinion that most people don't utilize. And your opinion will probably never change, and it will probably never do anything like that. And I don't disagree that there is problems with the Steam Deck. One thing that you did bring up is that the screen isn't as high resolution. That is a common thing that a lot of people say is wrong with the Steam Deck. I don't think that it's necessarily wrong, I just think that it's meh. I don't mind. I don't care. The screen is fine for the purposes that it serves. Could it be a little bit more defined in the way that it operates? Absolutely. Could it be a bit more powerful? Sure, most definitely. Could the cooling system be a little bit better? Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you on any of those minor points. But overall, if most of the people aren't having the same problems, if most of the people, you know, aren't explaining things or saying that things that you're saying to the exact extent, and they're trying to debate you on certain aspects of this, all for the fact that your opinion was stupid, don't you think that you would at least want to entertain the fact that you might be just somehow wrong, or might just, you know, you don't have to change your opinion or anything like that from what I'm saying, but, despite what this video might say, but in my honest to God opinion, you just need to understand that people will debate any opinion, regardless of validity or not. Your opinion was so bad and divisive that people got upset because